Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Just thought I'd show you this Royal Enfield I just picked up today. It's a 2016 model. It's the classic 350. That's in Australia, the 350 version is the carb version. Once again, carburettor, not fuel injection. These bikes, when they were new, like I said earlier, the 2016 model, these were $6.5 grand. Against the fuel injected version they were 9,000 or 9,500 roughly if you wanted the chrome. So what did you get for your money in those days, or even by today's standards, for your $6.5 against a $9,000 bike? In the naturally you got a fuel injected bike if you jumped up to the 500cc bike. So you got fuel injection, you got better tyres on the bike compared to these ones. These are only the cheaper tyres that come on the 350, although for some reason on the 350 they did fit the bike with dual tone horns set up. So I don't know really why, but you would have thought that would have been a 500 option. They threw it on the 350. Another peculiar trait which came in on the 352, the 350 comes standard with a solo seat, where compared to your 500 in the earlier days, it was something like a $270 or to $300 option. So strange as it sounds, you bought the cheaper 350, you got the solo seat for free, paid the extra and bought the classic 500, paid extra. How do you work that out? A disc brake front end on this one with a 19-inch wheel, and you swing over to the back. On the 16 plated model we got a drum rear end on an 18-inch rim. This bike's travelled roughly 2,755 kilometres. So on your classic 350 here, on a 500 we've usually got the area there where we've got the fuel injection info, but on this one we've got our old amp gauge, and I'll just turn her on, you'll see it flick over. Give this a kick over. See it flick back and forth. It's got a nice slow idle. This is the first time I've actually started this bike since I picked it up, and I didn't even use any choke on it either, so that's a bit of a surprise. I didn't even think it'd start without it. So I'll just run down the camera down the left side of the bike and just show you nice and clean it is. So overall it's a very clean little 350. So I think for 3,500 AU dollars, Australian dollars, got a pretty good buy. Price was a little bit higher than that to start with, but that's what I ended up buying it for, 3,500. So, you know, for 3,500 I thought it was a pretty good purchase. Plus for that money I got 10 months New South Wales rego still remaining on the bike, so once again can't complain about that either. Plus guys, I also got this original accessory package with the bike thrown in on the deal. So if you look back say a couple of years ago, Enfield in Australia used to be really generous, or Enfield India used to be really generous with all the customers, and they used to throw in spare tubes, spare cables, can of paint, all this sort of stuff, and in some cases a little bit more. But lately now when you buy a new Enfield you virtually get nothing, so they've become extremely tight. So like I said, in those early days you used to get a package there with some of the bikes I bought from Enfield in the past. They used to throw in 2 cans of paint depending on what colour the bike was, so those days are virtually gone now, and I think they sometimes still give you a can of paint, but their days of the cables and the tubes and all that, and once you used to get throttle cables, brake cables, clutch, a lot more than even what this kit has got on the 500s, but you used to get a vast range. Reflectors, everything they used to throw in there, but there was quite a lot in the box. But like I said, now you get nothing with the new bikes. They cost you more and you get nothing. So anyway, that's a quick look at this 350 Classic I bought. Now, as far as my plans go, what I'm going to do with it, this stage I'm not really sure. I'll take it out, take it for a few runs, see what I think of it, then I'll decide after that what sort of mods I might do to it. So from previous jaunts with various Enfields, I've still got heaps of stuff here in stock, like sports exhaust, headlight grills, indicators, bar end mirrors, bar end weights, tank grills, or so I've got quite a fair bit of stuff I can put on this bike, and different sort of number of brake lights, all sorts of stuff are sitting here from previous bikes, but just sitting over there and laying there doing nothing. Mini fly screens. So I'll decide I'll hopefully take this out too and give it a bit of a run, and when I get around to it, we'll see how things go on that line, and then I'll start doing a few mods to this bike. I even had plans at one stage, if I bought this bike, whether or not I'd pull that tank and send it away to the chromer and get the tank and front and the rear guard totally re-chromed, but I don't know. It's something, I don't know what I'll do at this stage, but I will have a bit of a hit at different things on it, and we'll see what happens, and I'll know once I get out there and give it a bit of a run and see how it performs, and see if I can get this running up something like to the same level as a factory standard 500. Yeah, so guys, I hope if you like this little video I put together on this 350 Classic, that you think about subscribing to the channel, and you might want to see what goes on with this bike and how it pans out. So once again, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the little bit I put together on it, and catch up with you at a later date, and we'll see what happens on this bike in the future. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and catch you later.